prepared a plethora of notes. I got things I want to talk about, things I want to get off my chest. But before we do that, I feel like we should give a ranking on the Demon Slayer movie. So
Okay. Sure.
what we'll do is that, out of 10, I'll do 3, 2, 1, and then we just give our rating, and then we'll go from there. Okay?
And then we can expand on it. Okay.
Yes. And then we can go take turns of why we gave this rating. All right. So
Okay.
our rating for Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, 3, 2, 1,
9.
7 out of 10.
7.
Should have been a
7's
6
rough.
though. Should have been a 6.
I thought you enjoyed it.
I did, and I don't want anyone to take this and be like, he hated it. I didn't. I was very disappointed. I feel like one thing was it was overhyped.
Disappointed?
Well,
This is going to be a fun conversation.
Baby, notes. We got them. Okay, plenty. Now I decided to go, and I had the privilege of going with my wife and my brother-in-law. Now I had 2 different sides of, I guess, fans or viewers, and so my wife, she's only seen Demon Slayer. I think she watched Mugen Train with me. She the day before we were trying to get caught up, so I was having her watch some of the Hashira training arc.
Okay.
And kind of gave her a little recap of what happened throughout that before we went it. So she was kind of going in blind. And then my brother-in-law is completely obsessed with it. He knows practically everything, more than me about it. And he went in, absolutely loved it. Me and my wife had the same. If you were a Demon Slayer fan, you loved it. For
And
me,
also,
Demon Slayer isn't the best thing ever, but I did enjoy it.
It's not like it's my favorite. I'm always like an unapologetic, like huge fan of shonen. I love shonen. It's just it's fun. It's easy. I really enjoy it. So it's in the genre that's literally right up my alley. Yeah, and it's not necessarily like what your go-to. You're not super huge shonen fan like I am.
I think I'm like even on every single genre. If I looked at like my watch list, I think it shows even on every single one.
Sure. Yeah. So, okay. So and to explain to everybody, we've kind of in past episodes, we've discussed kind of when we do a ranking from 1 to 10, like what that actually means. And so for us, a 5 is just like, it's terrible. It's a 5.
I wouldn't recommend it.
We wouldn't recommend it to somebody. It's not really, awful, but it's not entertaining. Right.
Yeah.
And so we've said like a 7 to a 7.5 is just like a normal, just like it was good. It was good. I would recommend watching it. And then anything above that is just, even more so. So for me, a 9 makes sense because I've been a fan of the Demon Slayer anime since it came out. Really, really enjoy it. Really enjoy the fight scenes, but there's also bias there because I've been a huge fan of like everything Japanese cultural ancient Japanese stuff for a long, long time. So I've written essays on samurais. I studied the way of the samurai. I wrote a 25-page essay on the way of the samurai in college. So it's always been a huge thing that I enjoy. And so Demon Slayer being essentially like a period piece anime, just the nature of the setting makes me enjoy it a lot more, which is why Rurouni Kenshin, I love Samurai X so much because it takes place right in that, era of Japanese history that I really, really like.
So I just want to give a little context of the Demon Slayer movie before we actually go in a little bit further of why I didn't care for it as much as I think I should have, or as you Demon Slayer aficionados say I should. For Demon Slayer, it did amazing. Coming to America did amazing. In Japan, it did phenomenal. Now, it's too early to tell how well it's doing, but at the same time, I kind of have to say this and really think about what I just said because it's the #1 animated movie in America of all time.
It's the #1 grossing film in Japanese history.
It is insane.
Say that again in case that people missed it.
Yeah.
The #1 grossing film in Japanese history, not grossing anime, not grossing animated film. The highest grossing film in Japanese history. And you know what number 2 is? Mugen Train.
I thought it was for American. I thought, no, because wouldn't I have to also cover theater, so.
Japanese history right now. So
So
Demon
just
Slayer.
Japanese, not even coming to America though. Like when it was
So
on
Demon
American
Slayer
soil, or
Infinity
saying,
Castle is the #1 grossing movie in Japanese history ever.
mm-hmm,
Mugen Train was, and Spirited Away was #2. Now
mm-hmm.
Mugen Train is #2 and Spirited Away is #3. That's Japanese history.
Well, on the west side of it,
Yeah.
the #1 currently right now
Correct.
is for that is
Correct.
Japanese animated is Infinity
Correct.
Castle.
Yes.
#2, which I thought was very interesting, and I'd love to be fact checked if I'm wrong about this, but it was the Pokemon movie.
Yes.
I think it was like
Mhm.
back in like 2000 when it
Well,
came out.
you're
Think about
you're
that
looking
though.
at like opening week. So there's a lot of debate
Yes.
about the record that was held by Pokemon. And so I think Pokemon held the record for the highest grossing opening weekend for an animated movie
Mhm.
of $30 million. And that
Right.
was back in like 1998. So Demon Slayer blew that out of the water and
70
made like
million.
70 million. But and
Yes.
so the record's broken. It's really cool. But you know
Plus the
how
300
leagues and
million it's already made in Japan too.
correct, right. But you know how nerds and geeks like to get, and it's like, okay, well, if you look at it like, well, how much did a movie ticket cost in 1998? Right.
Oh, don't give me
And then,
that.
so, but it's trying to look at it like, well, how many movie tickets were sold for the Pokemon movie, right? And so
Yeah.
there's semantics. So either way, the record was broken. Demon Slayer holds the record now of $70
But you
million
get the
in a
kids
weekend.
to go though too. Parents
Yeah.
are more likely to take their kids to the Pokemon than okay, all right. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's stupid. I thought it was good. I honestly do believe too that Mugen Train would have been up there if it didn't come out during COVID. If people were
Mugen
actually
Train
able to
did
go,
well
yeah,
as well. Yeah.
it did well. But if it was in theaters, I think it would probably have done just the
Mugen
same.
Train came out in theaters. I saw it in theaters, but it
It
wasn't
really did.
as
I thought
yeah.
it was during COVID.
It came out in theaters. Yeah. Well, I mean, I live in Texas, so we've pretty much always been free in Texas to do whatever we want. And
Right.
movie theaters never closed down. Like they wouldn't sell as many tickets or they would like close off
Oh,
sections. So what
that's very
movie
interesting
theaters
then.
did here is they would do like you buy your set of tickets, right?
Mhm.
And then so say I buy I'm going to the movies with 4 people, so I buy my 4
Right.
seats, and then they would automatically block out like the 2 seats to the left and the 2 seats
Oh,
to
the
the
distance
right.
and all that. Okay.
So nobody could buy those seats, so there would be space between the groups that were coming in. So I went and saw Mugen Train when it came out in theaters, but Mugen Train wasn't anywhere near as hyped
Mm.
or as advertised as Infinity Castle. Like
Okay.
only diehard Demon Slayer fans went to see Mugen Train.
Right.
And then ultimately it came out pretty quick in like an 8 season or an 8 episode season 2 on
Yeah.
Crunchyroll,
You
which
just need to watch the movie.
I can get into this now or I can get into it in a minute, but a lot of the complaints that people have about Infinity Castle is because they laid it out in a very specific way, because you can tell they're going to chop it up into episodes and put episodes on Crunchyroll is my assumption. I could be wrong,
Okay.
but that's my assumption. You can really look at it, because I went into it thinking, I wonder if they're going to do the same thing they did with Mugen Train, because I wasn't expecting that with
Nope.
Mugen Train. But so I go into it, look at it, I'm like, oh, that's going to be the end of an episode.
No.
That's going to be the end of an episode. That's going to be the end of an episode.
Mhm. I see what you're saying, but that's not going to happen, Will. I do not believe that's going to happen at all.
They're
If
either
it
going
is,
to do
that's
that,
fine.
or they're going to just put the movie on Crunchyroll at some point. Like,
But I do, yeah.
one
I do,
way or the other.
I do want to point out before I get into the reasons why and the notes I have of Demon Slayer, I do want to point out though, you guys notice how I don't have to give notes to Will? He just fact checked me before I could even pull it up. That's why we can go into this blind. All right, right there. I'm just like, all right, that's one point. He's like, oh, actually, this is. I'm like, really? Okay, all right. And then the next point, he did it again. I was like, 2 for 2 right there, Will. 2 for 2.